Alright, good day to you all there, traders. I'll be teaching you today accumulation, distribution, and how to use trend lines to position yourself like smart money traders do. Okay, so now most traders lose money not because they can't read charts, okay, but because they have no idea where they are in the market cycle. You know, the market moves in waves, more like phases. But if you don't understand these cycles, you can't get to stay long in the game. Okay, so you need to find out if the market is gearing up for a big move, or is it about to trap retail traders. Okay, now so in this video I'll help you to decode the three major phases of the market, which are accumulation, distribution, and how to use trend lines to position yourself like smart money to keep following the trend. Alright, now how do you use these trend lines to position yourself like smart money? You see, if you've been entering the market too early, this lesson will fix that for you. So make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next breakdown. Alright, now what are market phases? Markets move in cycles, not just up and down. They move in cycles, more like in a consolidation. You know, price just goes all the way up, comes back down, you know, break of structure, a retest. You know, price doesn't just move in the same direction all the way like that, you understand? We always have a comeback, you know, probably a short-term or a long-term comeback, you know, a breakout, you know, all that. But in the long run, price keeps moving. So now, okay, the three major phases where price is the accumulation. We have the trend, we have the pro trend or downtrend, the pro trend mostly, and also then we have the distribution. All right, now understanding these phases will help you to stop chasing prices and start positioning yourself like a pro trader. So do well to listen tight. Okay, now we have the accumulation phase. The accumulation phase happens after a downtrend. If you can look in here well, this is the accumulation phase here. You can see after this downward trend where price broke structure to the downside, you see we had this form of consolidation here. This is what we call the accumulation phase here. So price moves sideways in a tight range, and that's a scenario whereby the big players are quietly buying, or the big players are stacking in their orders, more of buys. And immediately after this consolidation was done, you notice we had this pump to the upside. So in here, the market makers, which are big players, were stacking in their orders here. Okay, so if you want to catch these moves with the big traders, all you need to do is position yourself to be able to spot higher lows forming. That is, you could draw your trend line. Probably you move down to the lower time frame, draw your trend line so you don't get to miss this move, because most times price keeps respecting the trend line before the breakout. But even while respecting the trend lines, you see price creating some form of liquidity before it moves to the upside. So, for example, if you are taking a buy here, if you had not known that price was beginning to buy here, and then you saw this potential chalk, internal change of character here, the price came back down, reacting, gave a full break of structure, you know, you might have wanted to take this trade, but with your trend line aligned, you have taken your trade from here, knowing that this was a manipulation for traders to be induced and taking their buy orders here. So a lot of traders will have been taken out on this leg to the downside, but as a pro trader, aligning all of this together, you will have taken this buy here, and then your stop loss way below here. All right, so all you need to do is look for the breakouts. Look for the breakouts, guys. If we were in this consolidation, all you needed to be in line with the big players was simply find the breakouts. Now, the next phase is the distribution phase. The distribution phase happens after an uptrend. The distribution happens after an uptrend in the market. So, price consolidates again, but this time, smart money is selling. That is, the big traders are selling. Alright, so most times, little traders who think trend will continue get stopped out. Let me show an example of that on the chart. So, whenever you see price consolidating after an upward trend, then you know that that's the distribution phase. Okay, so you look, that's lower highs start forming. You notice that lower highs start forming on the chart. Okay, so I warn you all not to buy. Make sure you don't set in no buy orders. You wait for the breakout again. That's where the reversal begins. Whenever you see price giving you the distribution, that is, price keeps hanging in the same price range after an upward trend, then you know that distribution is about to occur. And what did we see after that? After price did distribution inside this area here, you notice that then we had this pump to the downside again. Okay, now we have the trend phase. Now the trend phase is the juicy part where most traders' profit is made. So after the breakout, whenever price breaks out, that is where most of the money is being made for traders. Okay, so you do well to be able to spot out your distribution and accumulation phase so that you don't get milked when the real move happens. Okay, so the main thing here is to stay long in the game. Simply stay long in the game. Alright, now we have to be able to combine all this together so that we can get to navigate the phases without any hassles. Alright, so trend lines become your roadmap. Trend lines will help you to stay longer. At least you know where to buy, you know where to sell, you know where to place your stop losses, and all that. So in accumulation, you draw under price to anticipate the breakout, just like we did here. During the accumulation, you draw your trend line under the prices. You could have drawn it this way. You draw your trend line under the prices so that you don't get milked out of the market. Okay, then you wait for price to held back to your trend line before you take any trades at all. Usually before a trend line is being formed, we need at least 2 touches, which is this and this were the first 2 touches. So even if just all of this price action was not around, we could have taken our trend line from just these 2 moves. Then if we were to take a trade, we'll have only waited for price to react back to this, which it did. So the third one will have been our entry. Okay, that's pretty cool. While in a downward trend, which is the distribution, we use support and resistance or sniper entries. We use support and resistance. So in here, all you have simply done was mark out the major support and resistance levels, so you get to see exactly what price is playing out. Okay, you want to get right on target. All you need to do is mix up support and resistances, but likewise you might want to add liquidity because the market makers will also want to milk you out before the price moves in the main direction. So just like if you look on this price leg here, you notice that the sellers here were taken out, they were moved out before the move occurred. So you might want to add liquidity grab as a better confluence that price is about to move. So you notice after the liquidity grab, straight up we had the move, way much downwards, way more smooth to the downside. So now understanding these phases will transform your trading psychology and give you an edge that most traders ignore. So make sure to put this well into your trading journals. Next time when you see consolidation, you need to ask yourself, is this accumulation or distribution? Then act accordingly. So make sure to be able to spot accumulation and distribution on your chart. Whenever you notice a consolidation, make sure to spot them on your chart without hesitation. That will give you a better hedge on finding out where price is headed. So that will be an assignment for you all. Do well to mark out your consolidation on your chart, okay, and then send them down to me in the Telegram group, okay. So now I'd love you all to drop in the comment section, which phase do you struggle with the most? I want to hear them all in the comment section. Which price phase do you struggle with the most? So we can get to see how you can get better at trading them. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another trading breakdown. Alright, so bye for now. Peace out.